What's up guys, Justin here with the CGEssentials.com, back with another Blender modifier tutorial for you. So in today's video we're going to talk about one of my favorite modifiers, the mirror modifier. And so I would argue that it's probably one of the top modifiers that you could use for saving time in Blender, because if you use it properly you can literally cut your modeling time down by at least 50%. There's not a lot of tools that I've worked with that can get you that kind of return on investment from a time standpoint. You know, you might argue like the subdivision surface modifier or something like that. I'd love to have that discussion in the comments down below, but for now let's jump into checking out the mirror modifier. Alright, so this modifier is going to be important for a lot of different things, but let's start by simply mirroring an object. So to do that, you can select an object like this one, and then in object mode you can go over the modifiers tab. So if you click on the little wrench right here for modifiers, click on add modifier, you can scroll down and you can find the mirror modifier, right? So if I click in here, you can see how this has given me a mirrored copy of my dog. And so notice how there's a number of different options in here. Notice how right now you can dictate the axis along which an object is mirrored. So let's say that I was to deselect the X, click on the Y, the Z, notice how I'm getting a different mirrored object depending on which axis I have selected. And notice how I can mirror across multiple different axes, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about this because this looks a little bit crazy right now. So the first thing to note about this is currently mirroring across the object origin. So there's a couple different ways that you can adjust this. So the first is you can tab into edit mode. So if I tab into edit mode, tap A, and then move my object, notice how my object is moving, but my origin, which you can see right here, is staying the same. So you can tab into object mode and move your geometry in order to adjust where your origin is. You can also tab into edit mode like this, and then under options up above there's an option for effect only origins. So that means that when you select this object like this, the only thing that you can affect is the origin. So now I can just move this around just by tapping the G key in order to go into move mode. So that's another quick, easy way to do that. It's even easier if you go to a top-down mode, because then you can just kind of adjust this along the axes that you want. And so let's say that we also wanted to copy this along the Z axis or mirror it along the Z axis. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this way a little bit. Well, then if I rotate out of my top-down view, we'll go back to affecting our geometry again. But if I was to click on the Z axis, notice how this is mirroring a copy not just across the X axis, but also across the Z axis. So you can adjust the copies that are being created by adjusting that origin and your settings over here. And so now let's take a look at another example. So if I was to add, let's add a cube just for right now to keep it simple. So we're going to move this up, and let's say we're to mirror this object. So remember that we need to adjust our origin like this, and let's say that we wanted to mirror this across the Y axis or along the Y axis. So now I have these two objects in here. Well, at the moment, let's say I was to tab into edit mode and make some changes. So let's say I was to adjust this and move this face across like this. Well, notice how right now these two objects don't really affect each other, right? If I move this across, then all I'm getting, and maybe I should move this up just a little bit so that you can see a little bit better. But now, if I was to move this across, notice how all they're doing is they're crossing over each other, right? So at the moment that's not very helpful for like modeling, because you get this kind of like nonsense overlapping geometry and all of that. Well, what we want to do is we want to adjust that so that you can't overlap your geometry. So this is going to be really important when you start creating more complex objects. So what we want to do is we want to check this little box for clipping. So now, let's say I was to move this using the move tool. So G, Y. Now, this is clipping, meaning it's keeping my objects from passing through each other. So you can use this in order to create symmetrical shapes really easily. So, and we're going to uncheck this box for merge just for a second. But notice how now, let's say I was to extrude this out like this, And I want to make sure this is only mirroring across the y-axis. But notice how if I extrude this and I move it in using the scale tool, no matter what I do, this is not letting my edge move across this other edge. So this can be a really valuable tool for like symmetrical modeling. And so let's say, because last week we came in here and we created some bowling pins. So let's say for right now, with our pins, we wanted to create a bowling alley. So something that kind of moves across and then it's got some gutters on the side, something like that. Well, what we could do is we could do a Shift A, add a plane, right? And then try to center that plane right here. We can tab into edit mode, adjust it, scale it out, all that different stuff, right? But it starts getting complicated because let's say that we wanted to come in here and we wanted to create our gutter. Well, what I would do, and we'll go to straight up and down view in order to do this, but I would probably extrude this down. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but for what we're doing right here, we'll just go with this. So I would probably extrude this across and I would have this gutter, right? But the problem with my gutter is now I have to go model it on the other side, which isn't really what we want, right? We want to reduce the amount of work we're doing rather than increasing it. So what I would do instead of coming across and modeling this on the other side is I would tab into edit mode, select this edge, move it across here, and then I would use the mirror modifier so that I don't have to model both sides. So I would take this object, I would add a mirror modifier like this, and I would want to move it across the x-axis or the y-axis like this. Well, then I could come in here, select this edge. Notice how we're overlapping right now, so I would want to turn clipping on. Well, now any changes I make in here, so let's say for example that I was to extrude this up, so E, Z, move it out. Notice how those changes are being reflected on the other side as well. So what this would do is this would allow me to really quickly create something like this that's symmetrical without having to do the extra work of having to model something on the other side again. All right, so now let's talk about this other option that shows up in here for merge vertices. So I'm going to add a mirror modifier to this object right here. I'm going to mirror it along the y-axis. And so notice how right now, if we were to turn clipping on, select this face, and then extrude it out, and maybe move this face up and over. Right here, well, what we haven't talked about is this option for merge vertices. What the option for merge vertices is going to do is that is going to take any vertices within a certain distance and merge them into one. So this one right here, for example, notice how I've got these different vertices in here. Well, if I was to turn this merge up to something like 6 inches, notice how these vertices are now merging together, right? Anything within 6 inches of each other are going to get kind of dragged together and merged. So if I was to drag this down, notice how at a certain threshold, those vertices are going to be merged together. So it's kind of odd to me that merge gets checked by default. Clipping does not. I would kind of like to see it the other way around because I don't do a ton of merging vertices, but I do use the clipping all the time. So if you start getting weird results when you're trying to work with a mirrored object like this, maybe try turning merge off and just using the clipping over here. Mirroring things across object origins is fine, but it's a little bit annoying, right? Like it's a little bit frustrating. All right, so finally, mirroring objects across the object origin can be a little bit frustrating, so you have to go in here and like make a whole bunch of changes to where that's located and other things like that, right? So if I was to add this mirror modifier, we were to mirror this object, so it's just a little bit more work to come in here and start moving around your geometry and all of that. Well, notice how there's an option in here for mirror object. So what that's going to do is instead of using the object origin as the mirror point, you can use an object as a mirror point. So let's say, for example, that we were to do a Shift A and add an empty. So like the plane axes right here. So I'm going to move these across, place them right here. So a lot of the time you're going to use the plane axes for something like this because you don't really need them to do anything else. Well, let's say that I was to select on the little eyedropper right here and then click on the empty. Well, notice how now this object is being mirrored across the empty rather than being mirrored across the object origin. So notice how if I move this around, so if I was to move this on this face, this is now mirroring this object based on where I've placed this empty. So one of the cool things about this is not only can you use this in order to move things based on the move tool, you can also tap the R key and you can mirror things based on a rotation as well. So notice how as I move this around, I get different effects based on where this is, but you can use this in order to rotate copies of objects in addition to mirroring them. So this can be another fast way to set up mirroring without having to worry about moving the object origin around or anything like that. So that's where I'm going to end this video. Maybe in the future we can talk a little bit about some exercises where you would use this symmetry or something like that. But this should give you a pretty good overview for the way the mirror modifier works. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new Blender content every week. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit helps, even if it's only $1 a month. So make sure you check out that link in the notes down below. But in any case, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.